What's up, guys? America here. All right, just putting on the fit for the special video right here. So we're back at it again with CHUD the Builder. Got some bad news. Again, we got a white man being persecuted by the government. Nothing new, but it's gone to a different level. It's totally just blatantly like obvious. Just it's a new low. They're attacking religious expression, all right? Freedom of religious expression. So you're telling me that we can get Somalians coming in from a third world country who are a totally different freaking religion. They worship Islam, they pray to a cube, and they can flood Minnesota. They can fight back against ICE and all that, and we can get H-1B1s for Indians who are scamming the whole system, who are not even qualified, just so they can step foot in America, and they don't even worship the same God. They worship Vishnu and cow poop and fecal matter and all these degenerate demons. But a white man, God forbid a white man asks for a Bible in America, the country that was founded by fucking Christians. What is this? What is this bullshit? Yeah, it's just more of the, they're gonna do what they do, the shekel, the money changers, they're gonna do what they do, and they're gonna try and attack Christianity as much as they can, and it's just a new low. Obviously, it's bias. I mean, look at Hollywood. You can make fun of Jesus Christ. You can ridicule the crucifixion, the Last Supper. You can make fun of the Eucharist, but you could never ever make fun of the dreidel spinners. You could never ever make fun of their holidays and their swinging of cocks in the air. You could never ever make fun of any of their weird, peculiar traditions like burning animals alive, dogs. I mean, PETA, I forgot, but yeah, PETA sent out a warning saying, hey, make sure you don't have your dogs out because, it's this holiday where we just kill a whole bunch of animals. Like, okay. Excuse me? Yeah, like, we can't make fun of that. Like, there's a lot of, like, source material there to make fun of, and just criticize heavily. I mean, outdated religion, really. But let's get into it. So, CHUD the Builder putting down the white man. They don't want to see a white man with motion. They got to put him down. But on a serious note, it's very, very disgusting what they're doing. It's just so unreasonable. And if you've ever been in any paramilitary organization, you kind of understand that how a rank structure goes, even in corporate life, where there's the big dog and then there are subordinates, and nobody wants to question the big dog. The subordinates are never gonna criticize or openly criticize. It takes somebody with a spine, someone with assertiveness to really go against the agenda, push against the grain, and really make change, or get things done, whether for better or for worse. But it's one of those. It's the same thing with the correctional officers and the people who run the jail, the county. It's the same rank structure, all of that. The same. What am I trying to say? Let's see. Like the atmosphere, work environment, where people are just spineless and they're not gonna step up to their commanding officer. They're not gonna criticize a commanding officer because of rank. And I think it's just it just goes to show where a lot of people are. Like, people are goyim. A lot of people will never stand up for what's right, and they'll just do as they're told. Military is a prime example of that. All right, so let's get into it. So Dalton has been denied access to his Bible. So according to him, he sent a message to Taylor Hansen, or I think it was his other Twitter account, who I don't want to say because he obviously doesn't want to get as much recognition, but he messaged through the correctional facility. They gave him a tablet, and you can obviously make messages on the tablet, but it's of course it's like filtered, and all these systems you have to like either pay for it or something, or it's a letter or whatever it is. But he has this tablet, and he's able to, after finally being out of solitary confinement, he can finally talk to the outside world consistently. And he sent a message explaining how he was denied access to his Bible, how when he was changed from his solitary cell to a regular cell, that during the process they took away his Bible. And they never gave it back, but instead they gave him a tablet that's probably outdated. It's probably some piece of shit tablet made from China, and it probably it's not even like updated at all. It's like running on Linux or some shit. I'm not computer savvy, but its operating system is probably shitty as hell. You can tell it's like a bootleg or something. And he's saying that it crashes like every few minutes, and it's like super slow, and that it's like so inefficient when it comes to scrolling through the Bible, which I can imagine just being on a fucking toaster of a tablet, and it's glitching and it crashes and it kicks you out to the home screen, turns off. And then he says on top of that it doesn't even stay alive. Like it barely is alive. Like you'll charge it for, let's see, he says, I'm trying to get the exact words here. And it dies within a few hours. But yeah, that it crashes constantly and it dies within a few hours. Which I'll just say 2 hours. You gotta be more precise on that. You gotta sell the story, man. You gotta say, oh, it crashes in an hour or it dies within an hour or two. You know, you gotta put the numbers, the logistics. Because if you say a few hours, it could be like 3-4 hours. But okay, well, that's not the point. The point is that I can already imagine if you've ever been in jail, or if you're a law-abiding citizen, you could just using common sense, they're not gonna give you the best of technology. They're gonna have a certain budget, and they're not gonna allocate it to prisoners. And that's the kind of mindset we have in America, where we don't really allocate a big budget to prisoners for their, what's the fucking word, man? I can't think of it, man. Like, it's not, the budget is it's inefficient. We're paying, the budget isn't there. And so, I mean, he's been asking several days, and he's been doing it politely, and they have denied him an actual physical Bible. And I think that's kind of weird how they even take it to begin with. I mean, it's a fucking book. Like, why would you even take it if you're going from solitary to a regular cell? Like, and then he explains as well that he has the person next to him in the next cell has an actual physical copy of the Torah, like the actual Torah. And then the guy himself has the tablet as well, and the tablet has the Torah on it. So it's not like it's not a thing where, oh, the tablet only has this book and the Quran and this and that. No, it has like mostly all the religious texts and books that you could possibly need to worship. And they're just denying him a physical copy because, I mean, his Jewish, or shoot, I can't say that word. His Jewish cellmate, or the guy next to him, has the physical Torah, and he has access to the tablet. So it's just you can already see it's a preference thing. It's a list of priorities, and CHUD is obviously not the highest priority right now. And honestly, it might be prejudice as well, because we obviously, from what we've seen, can tell that this is a organized attack on a white man standing up for himself. If you've been following CHUD, you would know that he's been arrested multiple times, and it's just outrageous what he's been arrested for, like forwarding a call after he's been receiving multiple death threats. I think it's just super unfair, the whole situation. And anybody without biases, just looking from the outside in, can see how fucking corrupt the organization that he's dealing with. I think he's gonna be vindicated very soon. But yeah, it's just disgusting to see that level of corruption where they stoop low to persecute a man for his religious beliefs. And so he talks to the captain Oaks, and he's being nice and polite with it, and he hasn't received any reports since he's been there about his behavior. So he's been on good behavior, and he talked to the captain about the whole dilemma, and the captain replies with, in all caps, super angry, "You have a tablet, that's why. Period. Stop asking." End quotation. So basically, like, they're not willing to accommodate him at all. They just since he's been there, I'm sure they kind of got the rundown of the whole situation with the public eye, keeping a track on his whole case, and they just they're not gonna give him special privileges, which I don't think anybody should receive special privileges. But when it comes to religion, when it comes to the First Amendment, the God-given amendment, you have to obey it. You cannot deny somebody their religious expression. I think that's so ridiculous. It's just un-American in every sense. And it comes back to this conversation with egalitarianism and feminism. We just become a very feminized society where there's no morals anymore. There's no principles. There's no boundaries saying, hey, you cannot cross this line. Like, hey, you know what? It's fine. You're racist. I don't like you. And you cross my line, but there's a line that we can both agree that we cannot cross. But no, I mean, there's none of that. Like, the left is very degenerate, very disgusting, despicable death cult. And it's not even a left or right issue, but it just shows the degeneracy of society where we've come, where we have blasphemy laws against black people. Like, we literally worship black people, and I think that's disgusting because according to the Bible, we're all made in the image of God, and not one person should be raised above another. But I mean, we see it in the judicial system where the white man is inferior to the black man. He got denied his bond. He just had a hearing to lower his bond, and they denied him. And look at Carmelo Anthony. Where the fuck that nigga's name is. Disgusting. Dude literally had his bond lowered and was able to attend prom. And he murdered somebody. He stabbed him in the heart, and it was very gruesome, very violent. And CHUD, he defended himself. He didn't attack anybody. He defended himself. While on the other hand, we have Carmelo Anthony, a young thug who stabbed a white kid in the heart, and he's literally free. And they lowered his bond, and he was able to attend prom. And I think it's just disgusting, very disgusting, very corrupt, very hypocritical. And if you ask me, you should be angrier. You should be angry. If you're seeing this, if you don't agree with this message, you should still be angry, because that could be you. That could be your son. And that guy got away with it. His jury, I think it's all white people. But, he's still out walking and about. He made bond. He murdered someone and he made bond. If he really wanted to, he could flee the country, which he's not smart enough to. But on the other hand, we have Dalton, CHUD the Builder, who's not even he's not even a threat to the public at all. He's just exercising his First Amendment rights. And I said this before. I swear to God, hand on the Bible, I said this before. He's literally like a modern day Socrates. Like, Socrates got arrested for using his First Amendment right. Socrates got arrested for criticizing the government, for using his speech. He was harassing people, but he was just using his speech. And it's something similar to that, where it's either we live in a civilized society where you cannot attack somebody off of what they say, or we live in a degenerate society where minorities have the say, and they overall, rule the judicial system, and the judicial system is susceptible to corruption and political agendas, and it's not biased. It's not fair. It's not blind. It's either that, we either live in a civilized society or we don't, and that's kind of like the message. But overall, I'm not gonna really speak for his message himself. He's gone over it himself, and he's kind of been forced into this situation. It's just disgusting. But back on Captain Oaks, it's just a disgusting response. Being not having access to a Bible after wrongly. He's not even convicted. I don't even think he's been able to plead yet. Don't take my word for that, but I don't think he's pleaded yet. Like, there's no jury, there's no trial. Trial hasn't been set for it. It was literally just for his bond, and they're treating him like this because they already had a predisposed agenda with him. They said, hey, we're not going to make him the top of our priority. Like, we're just going to do the bare necessity with him, and we're going to try and save face from the public, and we don't want to have another George Floyd riot. We're just going to, hopefully sweep it on the rug. Hopefully it goes away. But no, we're not going to let that happen. We're going to keep bringing his name up. We're going to keep making this popular. We're going to keep sending money to him so that he can, come out of this wealthy, because this man has been canceled before. They attacked his own company. They try to starve him. They try to neglect him a wage, and that's just wrong. Like, how is he gonna provide for his family? How is he gonna partake in society as a a tax paying, a law abiding citizen if you take away his job and now he can't provide? Like, at least he's fucking working. At least he's providing value to the society, where you got people on welfare, per capita on welfare and shit. Like, this is retarded. But yeah, this is Captain Oaks. Go figure, right? And this is gonna trigger a lot of you guys, because you guys are simps. You goyim are simps. And I don't care if my YouTube gets fucking canceled. I don't care. But a lot of you are simps. This is a reason why. Women do not belong. I'm just going to say it. In the workforce entirely. I was going to say, like, first responders, like combat jobs and all that, first responders, high pressure work. No, I just think women shouldn't even work at all. If you've ever been in any paramilitary organization, you will know that to be a part of that, it takes a skill that women do not have, and that's to operate under high pressure, high stress, to continue to operate under high pressure and high stress, no matter the situation. And women have time and time again proven they cannot do that. The majority of women, I'm not generalizing, this is just fact. Women are not stronger than men, and they're not cut out for jobs like this. And we've seen it multiple times before. They're just not stronger than men. They're not. Like, what is this bullshit? They're struggling, man. They're going to ask you to open the jar, you know? But honestly, it's to protect women and society as a whole. Women cannot function under high stress situations, one where it requires you to take a life. So why do we give them the full power and authority of the Constitution with deadly force by their side if they cannot handle a single situation? Like, if you've ever seen a freak out, a public freak out where it's like a bunch of people fighting in the streets, you'll hear in the background just one woman screaming at the top of their lungs. You'll just hear it. Just any situation. You're a liar if you've never been in a situation where there's just one fucking idiot girl screaming. And that's just proof in the pudding that women do not belong in first responder like jobs at all. Firefighters, EMS, police, military, combat positions, all of it. But I'll go a step higher and say fuck women. You don't deserve to work at all. Yeah, I'm an incel. But I mean, it's just common sense, really. Just think about it. It's common sense. I know this is gonna hurt your little sim feelings, but it's common sense. We love women. We don't want to send them out on the front lines to die and get stabbed by black people. We want to make sure that they're safe and that they can raise the next generation. But yeah, back to the religious persecution. It's just disgustingly obvious at this point. Like, he's been persecuted since the beginning. This has been going on for years now. And a lot of people don't understand that he was kind of been forced into this situation. Like, you want to call him a grifter, but he was forced into this position. He was constantly under death threats. They were constantly trying to boycott his own company that he is self-employed, that he created himself, creating value to society as a whole, as a construction worker, where he's actually building houses, fixing houses. And these people who live off of welfare, they didn't want that, you know. They wanted to make him net negative, whatever. But yeah, just in case if you're a low IQ chimp, whatever, or whoever you are, the First Amendment says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the rights of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So right here, you cannot attack religion or freedom of speech and the freedom to exercise, all of this. And I mean, it's just disgusting. Like, that's the first fucking amendment of the Bill of Rights, the first one, and you can't even get it right. This is the most important one. You can't even get it right. It's disgusting. This country was founded by Christians, by Protestant Christians, by Christians. Fuck the Protestants. By Christians. People who believe Jesus Christ as their God, as their Savior. And you want to deny a man his right to get closer to his Savior, to read the Word, the Logos? It's disgusting. This country was founded by Christians, and for you to deny a Christian man any sort of repentance or reformity or any sort of wherewithal to reflect on his actions, if he was in any sort of regret or anything, you want to neglect him of that. You want to give him the bare minimum, a fucking shitty tablet toaster that doesn't even scroll, that like half the fucking screen doesn't even work. If you ever had Android and it just fucking cracks and there's like a small piece of the screen where you have to kind of like work with, like, you want to give him that to exercise his religion? You're a piece of shit. You're a coward. Anyone who works under Captain Oaks, you're a coward. You can't even speak up for your fellow man. This guy has less rights than somebody on fucking death row. They treat pedophiles, bleep. They treat rapists with more respect and more rights. This is disgusting. All this man has done was just question society as a whole and its blasphemy laws against African Americanness, the African Negroid. And they proved him right. You can't say a word or else you'll get thrown in prison and the book will get thrown at you. And it's disgusting. A 1.25 million bond that has not been lowered, and he has to have 10 bondsmen. It's disgusting. They're just doing everything in their power to keep him down. And this is before all this happened, before he was locked up with the whole self-defense situation. It's just disgusting. Just hear it. If you believe in God in any sort of way, just imagine if this was you. It's very hard because you're probably from a third world country, but try to imagine, try to sympathize. And it's really disgusting to neglect the man, his religious expression.
To where my church, I was a catechumen for 2 years. I was about to get baptized, and we were literally scheduling the baptism to happen soon. The priest called me and said, the clergy made a decision. People have been harassing us and saying these things about you. And the priest called and said, hey, this slander's gotten so bad, we have no choice but to kick you out of the church and cancel your baptism.
Wow.
And yeah, it broke my heart, dude.
No
it
choice.
was, and so that's why I said it was a modern day tongue slicing, because we know that this has happened to people throughout church history for thousands of years. They take your tongue.
There you have it. I mean, he's gone more into depth about it, but there you have it. The low IQ chimps couldn't even give him his baptism. They couldn't even give him his baptism. They had to go and harass. And it's not even the low IQ chimps. It's fucking disgusting white traitor trash. You guys are fucking selling out your own kind to low IQ violent chimps. You guys are fucking pathetic. Traitors. So this guy can't even be baptized. And I don't know the conversation that went on between him and his clergy, and I'm not gonna speak too much on that, but the fact that the public has that much power to stand between a man and his God, between CHUD the Builder, Dalton Etherly, let's leave the moniker out. Like, this is just a man who is religious, who has a God, and he's faithful. And if you've seen any of his streams, you can see the piousness in him. And this man was denied a relationship with God because the public kept harassing the clergy. Like, that's just disgusting. It's disgusting. I mean, there's a lot of negative things I could say about the clergy, but I don't know the details of the situation, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But I think that should really sink in. That's how low these people will stoop. These animals, there's nothing holy to them. There's nothing that they won't. There's no line. There's no boundary to say, like, hey, we're not going to cross this line. They will destroy everything that you find holy, and they will do it without remorse. And I think it's time for people to take their own side. I think it's time for white people to take their own side. And I think it's time for us to fight back against evil, and with assertiveness, with not the nihilism and the the animosity that they hold, but with faith and hope that there is something better than what we have now. I think we ought to fight back. We need more assertive men like CHUD the Builder. We need more aggression. And this is not a call for political violence, but we need aggressive men. We need people who are willing to destroy social dogmatic boundaries that are only allowed on white people but not on anybody else. You can't say that word, but everyone else can say the word. We need all that to be erased, and we need it to be, we can't let it have power over us anymore. And I think CHUD needs to be free. And that's just my 2 cents on it. And I stand with the truth. I will always be on the side of the truth. I will never, ever try and peddle deception. I'll always try my best to be a truth speaker. And this one sucks. This one sucks to see a man get his religious fucking freedoms taken away from him. But there's always hope, guys. There's always fucking hope. Never black pill. Never black pill. CHUD the Builder didn't do nothing. Free my nigga.
We the people find the defendant innocent.
Oh my fucking god. What a fucking nigga.